Hello everybody, it's Pineapple here. So today I wanted to take a look at another one of the 1,000 different Spright variants that are running around at the moment. And that is Spright Melffy with our good pal, the Tri-Brigades splashed in, enabling you to end on a wealth of potential negates and interruptions. So let's hop into the card by card. First up we have 3 copies of Fractal for basic try stuff. 3 copies of Rescue Cat because we have a whole bunch of level 2 beasts that don't mind having their effects negated. For our Spright package, we have 1 Pixie, 3 Jet, 3 Blue, 1 Carrot, 1 Red, 1 Smashers, and triple starter. Pretty standard. And then next up, we have, of course, our 2 copies of each of Karas, Kit, and Nerval for our generic tri-plays. We are also on the Nimble package, seeing as they are, in fact, all beasts, and synergize absolutely perfectly with our Tri-Brigade stuff. So we're on 2 Angler and Triple Beaver, because they're a must in Spright at the moment. For generic beast monsters, which synergize with our Melffy friends, we are on 1 Hop Ear Squadron and 1 Kalatosa, the mystical beast of the forest. Hop Ear is a quick synchro by targeting a monster on your field and summoning itself. And Kalatosa is a pop if it's summoned by a beast monster, which is fabulous. And lastly, we have our Melffy cards. So, if you are unfamiliar with them, they all trigger whenever your opponent summons a monster, and they bounce themselves to the hand with that effect, and can summon themselves in the end phase of your turn. So, first up we have Puppy, who bounces itself to summon a level 2 or lower beast from your deck. Typically you're going to want to grab Kalatosa to pop something. Then we have Catty, who bounces itself to search a beast. Typically you want to grab Hop Ear, or you want to grab Penny, but we'll explain Penny in a minute. And then lastly we have Wally, who bounces itself and summons 2 beasts from deck. So you can just summon Catty and Puppy straight from the deck. And then we are on 1 copy of Penny, who, if a beast was returned to your hand, it can quick effect summon itself and then immediately synchro summon using itself and a card in your hand, or cards in your hand, sorry. And then lastly we have double 10 key and 1 hide and seek. Hide and seek protects your Melffys from card effects and can shuffle beasts in your graveyard to draw a card. We're also additionally on triple droplet because you need to be maining 1 board breaker. In the extra, we are on 1 Merry Melffys, who can bounce a monster on summon, 1 Herald of the Arclight. Both of these are your quick synchro targets with Hop Ear and Penny. Additionally, we're on 1 copy of Joyous Melffy, who can return itself to the extra, and then special up to 2 Melffys from your grave. We're also on Mannequin Cat, double gigantic, 2 copies of Melffy of the Forest, who can detach a material to search a Melffy card, as well as it can target a face-up monster your opponent controls and negate its effects if Melffy returns to your hand. We're on 1 Shurig, 1 Conductor, 1 Ferrigite, double Elf, 1 Sprind, and 1 double Dragon Lords for our try stuff, because it's a great piece of interruption. So with that, let's jump right into the games. So our first match is up against Sidra. We'll start by normaling this kit here. From here we'll special Blue, we'll grab Carrot, we'll special Carrot, and then we will special Jet. Jet's going to grab us a copy of Smashers, and from here we'll use Starter to grab Red, so that we are protected from all the hand traps in the world. We'll make Sprind, we'll use Sprind to send Angler, we'll use Angler to grab ourselves our 2 copies of Beaver, and we'll overlay into our copy of Gigantic. We'll use Gigantic to grab Wally, and we will then use Kit to grab Dragon Lords. We'll make Elf, we'll use Elf, we'll use Kit, to send Nerval, we'll use Nerval to add Fractal, and then from here we will use Elf to bring back Angler, and then overlay into Joyous Melffys. From here we'll add Penny, and set 2 and pass back to our opponent. Our opponent's going to begin with a copy of Impermanence on Gigantic for some reason. They'll then normal core. We'll bounce Wally and then grab Puppy and Catty. From here we will negate core with Forest so that its name is no longer Cyber Dragon and cannot contact fuse with our field. They'll grab another copy of core with Emergency, activate Cyber Dark, and we'll return it to the hand. They'll set 2 and pass back. We'll use Penny to make ourselves a copy of Herald of the Arclight, and then use Smashers to snipe a back row. We'll hit a Paleo, which is kind of nice, and then we'll proceed to try to put up lethal. We'll grab Hide and Seek off of this copy of Forest. We'll use Forest to, or Hide and Seek to draw a card here. And it's Hop here, which is a pretty good draw. We'll bounce away this core, and then bring back this copy of Jet. We'll use Jet to grab another copy of Starter, and then overlay for another copy of Gigantic to try to put up more damage, and our opponent will scoop it up. So, for our second match, we are going up against Brenda Dogmatica, and they don't have a chance in the world. We'll start with Tenki for a second Fractal, and we'll use Fractal to send Kit, we'll use Kit to send Nerval, and we'll use Nerval to, of course, add our good buddy Karas. From here, we're going to special Karas, discarding this copy of Fractal. We'll special Jet, we'll use Jet to grab a copy of Smashers, and from here, this is going to be pretty much the end of the game. We'll use Karas to make Ferrijit. We'll then make Sprind, we'll draw and mulligan with Kit, and then use Angler to summon out these copies of Beavers. We'll make Gigantic, we'll Gigantic for Kit. We'll use Kit to summon out double Dragon Lords, and then we'll overlay, we'll link away for Elf. We'll use Elf to get back Kit, and then make a copy of Melffy the Forest. We'll grab Wally and set 2, and then in the end phase summon out Wally. Our opponent's going to begin by normal summoning Albaz. They'll attempt to use Albaz's effect. We'll chain Wally and Smashers. We'll get their Albaz off the field so they can't fuse, and then get out Puppy and Caddy. They'll use Ecclesia's effect, and we'll use both Caddy and Puppy to grab Kalatos and Hopier. We'll pop their copy of Ecclesia, and chain Hopier, and then make Herald of the Arclight so that they have nothing. They'll try to set a card and pass. We'll grab Kit in the end phase, and then also grab a copy of Carrot so that we are insulated from whatever their set card is. From here, this is just going to be the end of the game and us searching for lethal, which we will find, I believe, exactly. Yeah, which just shows how awesome this deck is. So, our final game of the day is up against Sword Soul, a tried and true classic. They're going to begin by specialing Shatana, and then using Long One before setting 2. They're going to make Evil Long One, burn us for 1200, and then pass back. They're going to flip Anti-Spell for some reason. I'm not sure why they're playing this in the main, but they'll use Fractal. We'll start with Fractal, we'll send Kit, Kit send Nerval, and Nerval will add us a copy of Karas. We'll use Karas to pitch Kalatos, special Karas, and then use Jet. They'll flip Blackout here, but I had the read on it already, so it didn't do much. We'll grab Smashers. We'll normal Beaver. We'll use Beaver to grab Angler, and then make Sprint. We'll use Sprint to send another copy of Angler, and they will trigger Evil Long One here to burn us. We'll grab our 2 copies of Nimble Beaver before making Elf and specialing Carrot. We'll use Elf to bring back Karas. We'll use Karas' effect to make Shurik. We'll banish their guy, make Gigantic, and they will scoop it up. And that just shows just how resilient Spright is, that it can play through all these things, even if our opponent is using their interruptions like dog shit. But yeah, I think this deck has a lot of interesting applications. The lines are very fuzzy. You have to figure it out, feel it as you go. But I highly recommend that you look into it. That's all I got for today, guys. I hope you enjoyed. As always, don't forget to like and subscribe. And I'll see you in the next one. And I hope you guys have a Happy New Year.